is a musical love letter to all those who feel alone.
Have you been doing those letters to yourself with Dr. Sherman?
I've been trying to.
Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be an amazing day, and here's why. Because today, all you have to do is just be yourself. But also confident. That's important. And interesting. Easy to talk to, approachable. But mostly just be yourself. You know, that's number one, obviously. Be yourself. But like a confident version of yourself.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key. Before I make the mistake. Before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare. No slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share. No, I got nothing to say.
Would you want to sign my cast? Because we're friends and
We're family, friends, Evan.
wouldn't anyone even notice if I just disappeared tomorrow? Sincerely, your best and most dearest friend, me.
No one signed your cast. Now we can both pretend we are friends. Dear Evan Hansen, here you go.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll just take it. Wait, I need that back. Please don't show it to anyone.
On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear. While I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window.
Connor took a letter from me, and it was an assignment from my therapist.
Ew. Connor Murphy's mother and stepfather here to see you.
Connor wanted you to have this. Dear Evan Hansen, he wrote it to you.
His last words, Connor took his own life.
He won. I'm sorry, Connor didn't write this.
No, please.
We didn't think Connor had any friends.
I mean, you're really gonna tell these people that the only thing they have left of their son is a letter that you wrote to yourself?
So, you and Connor, tell us something, please, Evan.
Right. I started talking.
You couldn't stop.
They didn't want me to stop.
I'm putting together a memorial service. If you wanted to do something.
You're falling in a forest, and there's nobody around.
Connor showed me that I wasn't alone. Nobody is. I wish we could have given that to
Do
him.
you ever really crash or even make a sound?
People started sharing it. It's everywhere.
I don't understand what happened.
You did.
I even make a sound, it's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in.
A lot of people feel like us. People that you wouldn't think. You don't know how much you've given my family and to me.
Waving through a window, I try to speak, but
Are you lying to all these people?
I never thought that it would go this far. I was trying to help.
watching people pass. Waving through a window.
If you knew who I am,
Can anybody see?
just how broken I am.
I already know you, and I love you.
I have to tell them.
Is anybody waving?
Always good to see you. And then to my far right, we have the incredible John Hall.
How's it going?
It's going. And our beautifully talented, amazing guest, the one and only Taylor Whidden, sitting next to me. How are you, Taylor?
Oh, guys, I'm so glad to be here. This is my podcast premiere, so.
Oh, well, fantastic. Well, we're so glad that it's here. And we're going to get to your incredible show that we've been advertising. I'm going to give you folks a sneak peek. Taylor's going to do a live performance today. But before we get to that, the trailer you just saw, Dear Evan Hansen, one of the most anticipated movie musicals to come out in quite some time. It was released on Friday. Me and Tim got a chance to go see it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here, along with some other things, maybe give people a different viewpoint as to what the show actually is. Critics have been annihilating this movie, saying some pretty horrendous things, and I got to tell you, somebody who watched it, I don't agree with most of them. But we're going to get get to that right here, along with an interview with Taylor and a live performance. So hang in there with us. And as always, John's going to be monitoring the chat, so make sure that you're talking with us. Tell us what you think about Dear Evan Hansen. Tell us what you think about Taylor as we get to meet her. And hopefully all nice things will block you. But we're going to get right into it. So Dear Evan Hansen, a $28 million budget, a 28-year-old Ben Platt playing a 17-year-old, along with a pretty star-studded cast. I'm going to shoot over to Tim. Tim, what were your thoughts on the movie, first of all?
I obviously read and heard a lot of the really negative reviews, so I think I went into it with the mindset of, I think it was May or Megan that asked before we walked into the movie theater. They were like, so we're going to this to make fun of it, right? And I was like, I don't know, I guess we'll see. So I kind of went into it with that attitude of okay, this might either be really good or just really fun to make fun of. And the first half definitely, it was very easy to make fun of. Sitting next to two people who had no idea what the story of the show was, it was really once you got to the real second act beef of it, Megan and May literally had their face covered up like it was a horror movie. I understand a lot of the negative reviews, but I don't think that they're fair to the movie, because I think that most of the negative reviews could probably be said the same about the musical. But as far as a movie goes, I really enjoyed it. But I also was sitting there singing every single song the entire time, so I enjoyed it because we were the front row and it wasn't going to bother anyone if I was being an absolute annoyance.
So the New York Times called it treacly and manipulative, accusing it of turning villain into victim and grief into exploitative vulnerability. Screen Rant said that the movie lacked awareness about the central character and has nothing interesting or deep to say about mental illness. Other reviews branded it as baffling, cringeworthy, painful, with a lot of others complaining about Ben Platt's age. John, you know the show. You didn't see the movie, but and Taylor, you didn't see the movie either. But let's kind of go into the story a little bit. So there might be some spoiler alerts. So we apologize if you're watching this podcast. You've probably seen or heard of Dear Evan Hansen. But John, what are your thoughts initially about the show in general? And again, they said that it was treacly and manipulative.
Listen, I know the soundtrack. I know the show. I know what it's about and everything. Like Tim said, any argument they have against the movie as far as being manipulative or unaware of mental health issues or anything could be applied directly to the show that it is not just based on. It basically is the show in movie format, right? From what I understand, they didn't really change anything from the show.
There were a couple cuts to some songs, but I think that it was done wisely, right? In my opinion,
nothing plot-wise. They didn't change any characters around or anything like that. So, whatever they have to say about it, it's just going towards the show and the movie. Okay, character age. I'm sorry. Have you seen a movie before? Because a lot of times characters are playing people who are decade or two younger. Right. I mean, watch any movie that has high schoolers in it, and I can all but guarantee that most of them are in their 20s or 30s or 40s. Can we talk about Grease?
Well, Grease, they were in their 30s and 40s.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the girl that, the one that played Rizzo in the movie, she was 38 years old playing a 17-year-old.
She could have been Rizzo's parent.
Right.
So, I don't really see that as an argument, okay? Have some suspension of disbelief here. The show has a lot of good points. Is it deep and make you walk out and really reconsider your life? I don't know. Maybe not. But does it make you feel good and maybe want to do some good stuff and look at your friends and say, hey, are you okay? Yeah. And to me, that's enough.
Taylor, what are your thoughts about the show in general?
Coming as a musical theater actress, those are going to be, I hate to say it, but very surface. You've got good people, you've got bad people, you've got love, you've got happy endings, and it's a place that people can go and not really have to dig deep into what's happening. And Dear Evan Hansen as a show is a show where it's going to put a lot of light on things that we as a society are not comfortable talking about. I mean, you've got mental health, you've got suicide, you've got, struggling with grief, you've got young teens having to deal with these aspects of life that you aren't necessarily ready to deal with. And these are things that we don't have conversations about, and now it's being sung to you in a theater. So I think a lot of the issues with the critics is the fact that I don't think we're good at talking about it.
Right.
And therefore it's much easier to put it on blast than it is to be like, oh,